so we can share it out to everybody. But what's up to everybody who may already see it here? How's everybody doing, man? We're back. Sim Standard Podcast is back in business. Been away for a couple weeks, man. I had a couple things come up, my son's birthday and stuff like that, man. I tried to get to the show. Last week, me and Smitty tried to get on, and you know, what you call it, Zoom was acting funny, man. So by the time we got to it, it just wasn't gonna. So we didn't do it. So we're here today. We got a whole lot to get into, man. So we're not gonna waste you guys' time. We'll jump right into it. I do see that we are live. First thing we want to talk about, man. Of course, we're gonna talk about Madden and their good sales. And we'll talk about how we feel about that and, what that means to the game and how we feel about it, et cetera, et cetera. We definitely want to talk about NBA 2K21, man. People now have modded their controllers. Wow. That's a whole nother level type of situation there. And then also, man, we want to talk a little bit about, and I'm sure we'll go off the cuff really quick in the beginning. We'll talk a little bit about the finals, things like that. And we definitely want to talk about, NFL. We always talk about our teams early on. And I guess the only other topic, man, let me grab my notes here. I know there was one other thing. Yes, we want to talk about the next gen consoles, the pre-orders,
Oh yeah.
how that all went. And yeah, I got some revealing news to give you guys that y'all will probably find amusing because we'll get there. But anyway, man, Smitty, let's start off with you, man. Normally I would say, how was your week? But in this case, how was your last 2 weeks? Which I've kind of talked to you since then, but how's everything been going?
Mm.
Anything you want to say about the Lions and or anything you might want to say about the final situation and how them Lakers looking here early?
Yeah.
Man,
I
we
mean,
got a
I've been.
dislike already, Smitty. God,
Oh yeah.
y'all be hating, man. And I'm just saying that because how could you dislike something that hasn't even happened yet? I don't know. It's all good. We love
Yeah.
y'all too. Go ahead, Smitty.
That that's the thing, Chris. We weren't on last week, so that's the thing. We've been out for the past 2 weeks. So cool to see you guys here now. But
Yeah.
what I want to say is that with the Lions, I mean, they barely squeaked out the win. I'm glad they won, but now look, the Bears are winning games. But what I tell you about
Uh,
Trubisky, didn't I
yeah.
tell you that dude? He looked like he knew how to play quarterback against us, but the past 2 weeks, all of a sudden he ain't that good. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying. And I mean, it's annoying. Uh, Patricia got to go, man. Like to just keep it a buck. Patricia got to go. He trying to bring up his Patriot days, and talk about, oh, well, I had this comeback. I know what it means to do this. I'm like, bro, you don't, come on, man. Stop it. Okay. You were not the head coach of that team. You were a coordinator. And at the same time, you have a mastermind of a coach in Bill Belichick. So stop. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
That
That's
is
like
true.
saying that's like looking at in basketball wise, that's like looking at Coach Pop and that's like RC Buford taking all the credit. Oh well, I know how to win championships because I put the team together. No, but somebody had to coach him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't have one without the other. So it's not like you didn't run the show. He just didn't say have at it. Because if that was the case, then Marvin Lewis would have been a phenomenal NFL coach. What's my man's name? Charlie Weiss.
Oh yeah.
My man went to Notre Dame and then he got let go from there eventually. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if these guys are so stellar, they should be savants wherever they're at. You know what I'm saying? So no, it doesn't work like that for everybody. Not every coordinator is necessarily a great coach. They're great at what they were proficient at. That's why, like I said before, Rob Marinelli went back to a coordinator position. What happens? Wins Super Bowls. Jim Schwartz goes back to a coordinator position. What ends up happening? Wins Super Bowl. But when they were the head coaches, they couldn't get it done. And you didn't see them take. And the funny thing is, you didn't see them try to get that coaching role anywhere else. They went right back to their to their comfort zone and stayed there. So, but that outside of that, the NBA Finals. I'll just say this real quick. Look, LeBron is already, LeBron is a top. I will say, in my opinion, he is a top five all time player. You could argue with he's within top 10 for sure. To me, there I don't care what the circumstance, bubble, no bubble, whatever. There will always be an asterisk when it comes to the titles he gets because he basically had to dang near super team every situation in order for him to win a title. Outside of the first time he went to the finals where he got swept, he had the super team up in order to win a title. And what I mean by that is, I know you look at the Lakers and you say, well, they don't have three players that are great like that. And I mean, the thing is, they they basically got rid of their youth movement core to bring in Anthony Davis. You see what I'm saying? Now, yes, does that help them to win now? Of course. But what will we say about that Lakers team if they didn't suffer the injuries that they had suffered at the time, and even LeBron went down? If they didn't suffer those injuries and LeBron actually were to lead that team, who's to say that they wouldn't have won a championship, or who's to say that they wouldn't have been able to make the finals this year with the team they had before Anthony Davis got there? You can't say for sure that they wouldn't have been able to do it. That's all I'm saying. But that's the problem then. And I was talking to one of my peoples the other day. What about when he came back to Cleveland? What if they never made the move for Kevin Love and they draft Andrew Wiggins, and you got a core of Wiggins, Tristan Thompson, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James. You telling me they still could have came out the East with that team, but that would be a team led with pieces that you truly don't know are going to work or not, and you lead that team to victory. There's a big difference between that and saying, man, I got to have stars over here. And that's what LeBron basically did. That's why when you look at Golden State, yeah, they made one big move acquisition, and that was KD.
That's a
That
huge one, though.
that was one. It's a huge, but see,
That's a major
is
move.
okay. Now, is that move as big as it is for Brooklyn in the same length as it is for Golden State?
Mm,
I'd say no
you know
because
what?
like
I might have to say yes, but only because of this. And I know it's hard sometimes because people will say it's results bias. But you're talking about a 73 win team acquiring Kevin Durant. I mean, bruh, that took y'all over the moon. I'm
yeah,
just saying.
but see the thing is though that's the other thing too though. Golden State was already a complete team. Like that team chemistry, along with yes, they developed some players that end up being really good, is why they were in that position. So
Yeah.
they were dang near OP as it is. So you bring him in, it's like, oh man, it's a cakewalk. So that's why I'm saying you put him over there at Brooklyn, we don't necessarily know how that's gonna work. It's not even guaranteed that, oh man, yo, they when KD come back, man, they gonna come out the East. Like we can't say that. He could take them over the hump now. He could. At the same time, they could mess around and Kyrie possibly could take them out because of how he played. So who
Kyrie
knows?
getting on my nerves, man. I
Yeah,
usually don't say
so
that about players, but Kyrie talk too much, man. He say too much stuff. Like the whole thing. Didn't he say something today about he don't
about
know
the
if you
coach,
need a
like
head coach?
we don't have a head coach. I could be a head coach sometimes. KD could be the head coach sometimes. Like you disrespecting Nash off
Come
top,
on,
dude. You
man.
can't do that. Yeah, that's yeah. You can't
Yeah.
do that. So that's where I'm at though. But I mean, if Lakers win this championship, if they win it, they win it. And understand this. Miami was in that game now, but you lost Dragic, which unfortunately he's done for the season based off of what they said with his injury. You what's his name rolled his ankle. Butler.
Butler,
He
yeah.
even though he did come back to play, but still it was like no, it wasn't the same. And then you lose Bam Adebayo as well, sore shoulder. So it's like the one guy that would be that's your paint patroller basically, your paint patrolling all star gone, your your second your second leading scorer of your team gone, and Jimmy Butler was gone for a stretch as well. Sorry, one for baking some food in. Sometimes our smoke detector is that sensitive. If y'all hear it, it goes off
Yeah,
just
mine
because.
do it too.
So, but uh, but yeah, you can't lose three key people and then just expect them to still hang in the game. So they can come back tomorrow and possibly even the series up because they were rolling. It was like the third quarter is when they completely lost it.
My goodness,
So
it
that's
was
that's what I'm saying.
crazy.
You can't lose all that. You can't lose your top three players, you know, and then expect to win. That's not going to happen. So I fully
Yeah,
understand they got obliterated that game, but if Bam and Butler can come back and give a legit performance and they can gel as a team, Tyler Euro is going to have to step all the way up because now that Dragic is gone, that's a big gap. That's 16 and a half points. I mean, he only scored 6, but
shoot,
still,
that boy Nunn was cooking though.
you missing, huh?
That boy Nunn was cooking though. It would
Yeah,
seem like he won't missing a shot. But I mean, I
yeah,
don't know if he can. I don't know if he can keep that up if you prepare for him.
right.
But yeah, he was. He came in and he was definitely a spark for him.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, if they step up as a team, look, they got to the finals as a team. They were not expected to be this big time impactful team. So it's like to see them as a collective get there to the finals, they gotta but you don't they can't go out. They can't go out on no sweep or 4-1 or anything like that. They can't because you beat out the Bucks and you beat out the Celtics. Those are the teams that are supposed to be the ones that are supposed to go. They're supposed to be the battle tested teams and they're supposed to do it. And for you to come in and say, "Oh, yeah, y'all slept on us." Okay, well, prove it.
Yeah,
Prove that you should have been in the finals then. Now that you didn't beat these teams out, prove that you belong there. Don't go there and get obliterated and then that's it. So, but yeah, so we'll see. But see what happens from here.
yeah, man. I think I'll just throw this out there. I don't have a dog in the fight. Y'all know. You see who I represent.
Oh, you got
Hey,
Doc Rivers now.
that's what I'm saying. Hey, that's why I pulled the hat out tonight. Hey, man, I like Doc, man. Regardless of what they say about him, to me, it's the Charles Barkley effect. And what I mean by this, great players and great coaches don't always win championships, man. I mean, I know we judge people like that, but come on, man. Charles Barkley, like I said, and I know Shaq jokes with him a lot, but everybody knows that he's to me, one of the greatest players of his time, of all time probably. So he don't have a chip. So what? My man Allen Iverson, one of my favorite players of all time. He didn't have a chip. And Doc could be one of them coaches. I think Doc is a good coach. He makes mistakes like everybody else, but I'll take him in Philly. We need somebody like that. The coaches that we done had in Philly lately, you just kind of, yeah, you know what I mean? So I'll take him. But anyway, the cool thing about if the Lakers win, I'm going to throw the sentimental out there. The whole Kobe dedication. That'd be dope. If they're actually able to do that, on behalf of, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be cool. One positive thing out of this whole 2020 year, if you will. Other than that, I think just watching that game, like Smitty said, Miami was in it for a minute. And it seemed like when the Lakers decided to turn it on, I'm going to tell you like this. If the Lakers can shoot the three at that clip like that, it's over. They too big for Miami, number one. And if they can pull it out and drain threes the way they was hitting threes, it's over with. I don't think Miami has a chance. Done. Especially like Smitty said, if Bam don't come back at any type of positive percentage, if he's not at least 75 or 80% of himself, it's over, man. I think the Lakers already are too. One thing with the Lakers too, man, that's interesting is I started watching them later in the year. I wasn't really watching the Lakers that much, but I was like, yo, they got a lot of depth. Not maybe not great players, but even when you talk about big boys, like they got bodies they can throw at you and wear you down. You got Dwight. You just put him out there to be an enforcer. It's crazy how he out there just throwing shoulders on people and elbows and stuff, like roughing, like straight up roughing people. Then you got McGee that you can get out there to just be a tall body, get some blocks, get some fouls. You can slide AD down to the 5 if you want. I mean, they are too big. So if they can use their size the way they should and they can drain threes, they got it. It's in the bag. Other than that, yes, I'm happy that the Steelers are 3-0. Got a good test against the Texans. It's unfortunate. We all know the situation, and most of you guys that are watching tonight watch football. We have no game this week. And we all know why. COVID-19, man. Each day of this week, there's been a new test popping up at the Titans facility, man. That's unfortunate because I think now it's, 4 or 5 players. I think they have a total of where they were at yesterday was it was 8 first, then it was 9, then 2 more today. So a total of 11 people within the organization. And what scares me, Smitty, in chat, man, I hope this doesn't turn into something worse, because think about this, right? They're getting tested every week or every day for the most part. Pretty sure they got tested the day before the game. No positives. They get tests after on Tuesday. Positive tests. They just played the Vikings, right? And even though the Vikings are not showing positives yet, who's to say that somebody didn't contract it and it just ain't showed up yet? So what if we start hearing from now that the Vikings have somebody, and that's how that thing will start moving? So hopefully not, man. I hope that they can contain it. But I'm almost preparing at some point that we're going to see more stoppages. And if that happens, we might even see a halt to the season. And, I mean, to do that to football, I don't know how you make it up. I don't know, man. But sad that I can't root for nobody this week. But, hey, at least we can't lose. So, cool with that. But anyway, man, let's jump into some good old stuff here, man. My man Brett in the chat, man, if you still want to come on for a segment of the show, you can hit myself or Smitty up on Twitter in a DM, or if you want to shoot me an email, SimFBallCritic@gmail.com. We'll slide you the Zoom link, because I know you've been, kind of wanting to come on for a couple of weeks now. So just let us know, what segment you want to jump in for, and we'll have at it. Smitty, man, I don't even know where to start. Let's see. Let's take a look at these topics, man, and see what I want to approach first. Madden. Yeah, let's. I guess we can. Maybe we start off with Madden, man. Let's get Madden up out the way, man. And maybe, maybe Brett wants to come on for this, or, come on later and you can still comment on it. But let's go ahead and get Madden out the way, man. I'll start off. Listen, excuse me. Here's the unfortunate part about Madden. Some of you guys will agree with me. Some of you may disagree. I said this when Madden 20 came out. You guys remember when I said, this is going to be one of the best selling Maddens that we've seen? It was. I said the same thing about 21. I said, you know what I'm afraid of, Smitty? Guys like us see the things that we really want changed and added to the game and franchise, all of that stuff. But they may have done just enough to continue to sell or continue to have that engagement by just the regular guy. And as we found out, apparently Madden was the highest selling game in August. Now, here's what hit me very hard when I heard those numbers. Y'all remember when Madden came out? You remember the date? Even you could only get it as early as the 25th if you pre-order. So you telling me now again, I don't know what else comes out in August. So the numbers could be skewed a little bit, but to have those type of numbers that early in that amount of time lets you know that people were putting that money up for it or they were pre-ordering it. What it means for the game is a little scary because, of course, when you're making money, you think all is well. However, what might help us in this regard is the fact that we do have that whole hashtag Fix Madden franchise that popped up and got the ear of the people who needed to hear it. So they know they can't just sit back and chill. So usually I would be very upset at the fact that the game is selling well because, you know, obviously if it's selling well, the big wigs would be like, oh, we doing great. But I think for once they finally know that they can't just do that, because if you do that, then we're going to have your game trending in the wrong direction, you know, at least for a day or two on Twitter. But again, they still sold. So it's kind of like, it's discouraging. What really scares me about Madden, and I know this is not really the same topic, Smitty, but I'm going to throw this in before I throw it to you. You guys keep hearing me say that my focus is on next level. I even have a video that I'll either release tonight or maybe tomorrow morning talking about one of the main issues with Madden. You know, most of the time I'm talking about player interaction. This time in this video, I'm talking about AI. Like Smitty used to always say, the mechanical zone tactics that this game uses is ridiculous. You're going to see, let me set the story for you guys. I played an online franchise game last night. For whatever reason, I mean, Ben Roethlisberger is just having the worst day. I threw 4 interceptions, right? 3 of which were pick sixes. For those of you guys that can do the math, that's 21 points, you know, including the extra points off of pick sixes. This guy wasn't doing anything on offense. Would you know that I actually won the game 36-35? Now, the play that I'm going to show you in the video is the go-ahead touchdown. I was on my 2 or 3 yard line. And you guys will see the video, but just giving you a precursor. I throw a slant to Chase Claypool. I was able to hang in the pocket and let him cross, hit him in the back of the end zone. We score. Hurrah, hurrah. And I'm 6-2 so far in this league. I don't know. I beat one of the guys that's back now in our league. That's the Cleveland Browns that I always lose to. Beat him. I don't know what's happening here. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm not, because I will. This game, we can try to play it like we want to play all we want, but the game sometimes will either do for you or it don't. Your game plan doesn't really come into play. So I don't always I'm not a Madden guy where I say, yeah, I dusted you in Madden. No. I don't do that. The only time I've had real games, a lot of times when me and Smitty had played in the studio, it's tit for tat. He might win one, I might win one. Me and Azure, that's how I go with us. But usually when we go try to play somebody, skills don't really come into play when people ain't playing the game the way you're playing it. So anyway, get back to the point. My opponent runs zone coverage. And it's compressed. We're on the 2 yard line. If this game goes to next gen and it still plays zone coverage like that, or the way they interact is the same as it is now, I don't know if I have any hope for the game ever getting better. Because, guys, you're going to see in the video, they don't diagnose what's happening. There's no situational awareness. None. They don't realize, oh, we got to protect this end zone. You're going to see in the video where one of his corners, his inside corner, pushes one of my guys to the safety. There ain't no safety there. Why? Because the safety is playing like a yard out of the end zone. Like he's pushing them to the safety as if they in the middle of the field. You see a guy, you're going to see in my thumbnail that I post, there's a guy that's just standing flat-footed like this. Nobody around him. I zoomed in his thumbnail so you can see there's nobody in his vicinity. He's just standing there in the end zone like that. If that stuff still happens in next gen Madden, we are in trouble. And I know some people are going to say, Smitty, oh, it's the first year implementation, but y'all are missing my point. If that stuff is still happening, that would mean what? It's a port over. The code is the same code. And if they try to rebuild on top of the stuff that's there now, forget it. Forget it. It ain't never going to get there because I don't think that you're going to spend time each cycle, right? You're not going to spend time each cycle rebuilding code, rewriting code. I don't think it works like that. And maybe once we get Brett on, Brett will probably be able to explain that again. Brett Lee here was a developer at EA. Oh, speaking of which, Smitty, I ain't even know. I had no idea that guy David Winter worked for EA. I had no idea. And that's the Maximum Football guy for you guys that don't know. I had no idea. That's interesting too. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on it, man. It pains me to see a game sell so well that I'm so unhappy with in terms of how I feel the game is being held back. Can I get a good time out of Madden? Yeah, but most of the time it has to be offline. It's getting to the point now where when you play against somebody, even when I win, remember guys, I won this game, and you're gonna hear me say that in the video. It still don't feel good. Because if I would have lost the way he did and went into the same replay, I would have been like, bruh, what's happening here? There's multiple people that, I mean, the linebackers just let them cross their face. And again, I know it's not their responsibility, but it is in the end zone. Everybody knows protect the end zone. You don't play, you ain't just playing your that mid read and the three rec. You ain't doing that. You ain't doing that in the end zone. You trying to protect the end zone.
Got to play that squat.
You know what I'm saying, Smitty?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, nah.
Even on the level of football that I play, obviously I didn't play in the NFL, but even coaches used to always tell us, dog, if we call zone and we inside the 5 or 10, it turns into man coverage. I don't care what we're running. If don't let nobody, like, you can't funnel him back there. Ain't nobody there. You don't let nobody, you know what I'm saying? You follow whoever crosses your face, and that clock got to be going off in your mind as well. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. The ball's probably about to come out. So you don't just let this guy just go over there. Man, it's bad. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that part. And, we'll get into that a little bit later. But that's my thoughts, Smitty, as far as, man, the sales. I'm not surprised, man, because the average fan, Madden is, it's Madden. They don't review it the way we do. So my question to you, though, Smitty, after you give us your thoughts, man, do you think that's good or bad for the game?
To have it be dynamic? Or are you talking about
to have the game sell the way it's selling?
Oh,
and it still ain't satisfying what we want.
Yeah, well, no, it's not a good thing. But hold on. Something I want to check. While you were talking, I messaged you the Brett his email in the thing.
Oh, in here, okay.
In the Zoom thing, yeah.
Got you. All right, we coming to you, Brett.
Here, if you look at the video game releases, okay? Now you just look for the past year, looking at this past year, matter of fact. Now remember, last year, Madden was the first game released in August because Street Date was August 2nd.
Right.
So that was the very first game released. Good now, when you look through, I'm just look through the list of games that came out in August. The only game that honestly had some kind of traction that may have been a hitter was Control. and that was a brand new game. So that's a brand new IP.
Yeah.
That game is not going to necessarily sell millions and millions of copies like that fast, right? Madden, even with all its mediocrity, it still has that reputation.
Still Madden.
So you don't there wasn't a game that came out last year or this year that has that kind of reputation, right? There wasn't a Metal Gear Solid. There wasn't a Final Fantasy. Excuse me. Like there wasn't a game that's part of a series where it was just like, OMG, this game came out from this series. I can't believe they dropped it. Oh, this is about to be hot. No, like that didn't happen. So when you see Madden win that kind of, not award, but they get that kind of commendation and say, oh, this is the best release in August. I'm like, yeah. And this year in particular, it's even more exceptional. The
Yeah.
game came out on the 20, well, technically the street date was the 28th, but you had people pre-order and get the game in advance and stuff like that. And once again, there's nothing that came out that was honestly that good. And if it was a game that was in high anticipation, it came out around the same time Madden did. Like Project Cars 3. That's a game that may be in some a little anticipation. That came
Two
out the 28th.
2K drop
Wasteland
next
3,
week.
28th. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like oh, what's it call it? PGA Tour 2K21. We knew that wasn't about to overtake Madden, but that came out on the 21st.
Right.
UFC 4. That came out August 14th. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, once again, that game doesn't have the reputation that Madden has. So there's no game that came out that month that has that kind of reputation. And on top of that, it's not like the UFC only has one, two, three, or four fights a year. So there's no major event that came out around the time UFC 4 came out to be like, yo, this is about to be an ultra mega card coming out and UFC dropping. They would have sold a lot more
Yeah.
copies if that were the case. But unlike how it is with Madden, it still is football season, even with this virus situation going on. This is football season. So people like, man, I can't wait. So Madden comes out. So of course they're going to be all over that. So what you got to remember is like, look, oh, y'all seeing the camera. I mean, this isn't the best measurement, but you got two cups here, right? So this cup is a busted one, right? But it doesn't hold nearly as much, right? It's chipped on the top and everything, right? This is what Madden gave us. We'll just use an example. This is how Madden basically gives it to us each year, right? They give us a smaller cup. They give us a cup that'll be half of this size. That's Madden. That's Madden 18. You know what I'm saying? Now, instead of giving us this half size of a cup, now they give us a full size of this cup, right? That's Madden 19. Now, this is Madden 20 right here, right? Now you see it's a bigger cup, but look, they only give us half a cup of water in there, right? So then now Madden 21, now they gave us a full cup in here. Excuse me. So you see what I'm saying? It's like this is what happens. So you got to remember, people don't have the memory necessarily of what things were back then. It's like this. Like I said, using the same examples, that's like being in a village, right? If you got a village, right, and they only got access to well water, and they all got to drink from busted cups, right?
Mm-hmm.
EA comes around and say, hey, y'all, we got that spring water this year, but you only get half a cup, up to half. But we gonna give y'all that. Everybody that's mad, you could have the people that are awoke and know all the information, all the highs, lows, and in between of the game. You think they're gonna want to drink that well water? Man, I'm gonna get this half cup, man. But real talk, we should be having better than that. While everybody else, they're like, shoot, new water? Heck yeah, give me some. That's what's gonna happen. Then they come around the next year and say, hey, now look, now we're going to give you guys a better cup to drink out of. Hey, yeah. We're going to give you half a cup of that, right? But we're also going to give you 2 saltine crackers, like, a little pack if you buy a soup or whatever. Now we're going to give you guys 2 saltine crackers with it.
The little airplane
See,
joint.
we got exactly. So we looking out for you guys.
Oh
That's what
man.
happens. So when they're saying that, oh man, our numbers are great, they're phenomenal, they're stupendous, we're doing phenomenal. We're never hit these numbers. They're going off of the standard that they set now, off of where they're at today. They're not selling what they did back on PS2 and Xbox.
No way.
See, we can sit up here and be like, man, they up here giving us, look, they giving us half a cup of water and a pack of saltine crackers when they used to give us filet mignon with the mashed potatoes.
How would you like your steak, sir?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, and them cheddar bay biscuits from Red Lobster, man, they used to hit us off proper back then. That's what I'm saying. But see, that's 15, 16 years ago now. So they ain't thinking about that. Folk, the common person, the common fan, or the common gamer is not thinking about 15, 16 years ago on a sports franchise. They're just concerned about today. So when you see them numbers and they say, oh, the performance and the records and all that stuff is phenomenal and we're doing all this, it's they're going off of what currently is going on. And there's no possible way these guys are outperforming PS2 in terms of yearly sales. That's not they're not selling 10 million copies. We know they're not selling 10 million. So 2K is doing that. These guys aren't. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I want to see. How did those numbers carry over into September? Because, like Smitty said, you only got like a smidgen of not even a whole week, really, of August. So how was your numbers running through September in comparison to the big boy?
Now, and see, watch it be inflated because the game technically came out the 28th. So now September, they're gonna be like, "Oh, one of the best selling games of the year, Madden. We're in the top 10." It's like, okay, but what are you honestly up? Okay, Ghost of Tsushima, which is a phenomenal game. What's the name of the game? Last of Us 2, which it was a good game. It's good to me. I know that was controversial. And you have other games that are going to be brand new. Now, you have games like Division 2, Destiny 2, and things like that. GTA 5, which is still being ran to this day. These are all high popular games, but they're not selling. You know what I mean? They're not going to sell like that because they're like over a year plus old. You know what I'm saying? GTA is like over 5 years old. So it's like those games are not going to translate in terms of getting sale numbers like that, even though you may have a lot of gamers that are playing those titles. So with Madden being the brand new title, that's going to be like, oh, that's going to give it that top ranking. So it's not that Madden is giving us a good game or a great game. This is the only game that we got. This is the only option that we honestly have. So when we only have the one option to go by and honestly partake in, how are we going to sit up here and honestly say, like, we could get mad at it, but like Sim and I have said many times before, there's no alternative. We don't have what we gonna do. We gonna play what new game we gonna play because that's what we're looking for, a new game. And no offense, listen, I'm gonna support Axis. I'm gonna support Maximum.
I knew Smitty was going there.
To them cats. But them boys ain't ready yet. It's not there yet. Maximum needs to do more because I can't act like that game is doing enough for me to be like, hey yo, you know what? If EA playing around, I'm gonna play this instead. No, I'm not. If they gave us PS2 caliber, like I said, if they gave us Madden PS2 Madden caliber gameplay, like with the player movement stuff like that, if they gave us that, oh, I'd be all over it. That would be more than sufficient for me. AI and all that. Yeah, I would be all over it. And the thing is, they can potentially get it there. Like they're not too far away from how it looks, but they gotta, you know, they need to put. It's nice they got the franchise and all that stuff, but you need to like triple, quadruple down on how the game animates. That's going to be the key thing with your real time physics being in there. Because see, the problem with the maximum football.
I should put it in the chat, yo.
What?
The game. I should cut it on and let it run, so
Oh,
people can see it. I might do that.
because
Let me see if I can get that to work.
because the thing is the problem with maximum football is that dang, I lost the thought that I had. I was going to say it was something I was going to say specifically about it, but dang, no, oh no. The problem with it is that there's for all the subtlety of it being an independent game and all that stuff. The problem with it is it's not a legit alternative that I could get in on and be like,
No.
yo, this now if Madden is on that stuff, I could play this instead. It's not that kind of alternative. And see, I'm not a desperate gamer. I'm not somebody that's just gonna reach and grasp at straws to play a game, man. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to knock anybody, but I'm just saying for me, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, there's an option, I gotta jump on it. Like, no, it's like, okay, it's an option and I'll support it, but I'll support it like what Sim has said on Twitter. I'm supporting it in the hopes that the game becomes a better title, a better developed title. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Sim. The problem with those guys is that they overhyped it verbally. They posted screenshots and because that's why I was like, why are they showing all these 18 billion screenshots? And they look good. The position they're in, the way the animation looks in the still, oh, it looked great. But my thing is, it's like, why y'all keep showing these still shots? Like, and you guys are talking about, oh man, yo, the AI, man. Let me tell you what we did. See, that's why I'm like, I gotta see. Just like when my man Damon Grohl was on here, what did we say to him back then? Even though he was scamming, but I was like, I gotta see what you talking about. I didn't go
Yep.
off of I got NFL 2K5 for inspiration and I'm gonna bring y'all in and all that stuff. That's awesome. But I gotta see what you talking about though. And it's the same thing with them. I'm with you, but I gotta see what you working with. That's why I like the axes there so much. They're like, no, look, we ain't touching Madden. Look, we know our gameplay is not where it needs to be at, but this is what we're able to do from where we're at. Bet, my man. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? But when you got people that get on and they're talking about
Oh,
this
here you
game
go.
and they're talking it and talking it up, like they gave it so much life
I got it for him
that
on screen.
it
It's
was
coming, guys. Let me just chop this down a little bit.
it
I'm
was
gonna let it
they
run.
gave it too much. They gave it too much juice. And it's like if you gave it that, oh, okay, I see Sim got it up there. If they gave it so much juice that it's just like I was looking to be like, okay, the gameplay, the animation is not going to be all that. I already know, but the way they're making it sound, this gameplay about to be like real crispy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like from looking at streams and looking, I'm like, well, I mean,
Ah,
I
this.
I get it, but
Oh,
it
baby, I
ain't
like it
enough.
raw.
Yeah, like, it
It's
ain't it
raw,
ain't
brother.
enough, man. It's right. It's a project. It's definitely a project. So and I mean they making good strides now. Don't get it twisted from where they were at the beginning to where they're at now. They're making strides, but it's not enough for me to be like, yo, this game is lit and they doing this and that and yo, hey, they like the way they made it sound, the way that it sounded from the verbal standpoint, made it sound like they were one step away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least that's the vibe I got. Like, it was like, dang, these dudes, when they're making it sound, it's like these dudes are literally a step away from being like there. So it's like, nah. So that's the problem. That's the issue that I have with that. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense. But yeah, EA, like what Sim was talking about, just to touch on that real quick. Defenders covering grass, not aware of their situation, seeing defender, that's been happening for the past few years and everything for years now. Defenders passing off assignments into space. I'm like, who are you passing it? There's no one there. Like they literally will cover the receiver and
cosmetics.
just run away. I'm like, why are you leaving them? There's no one there. What? Get back there. Don't. And this is the thing. They're gonna run. Let the receiver come across their face. Run with him for a second. Run back, and then when it's thrown there, it's oh snap! Oh, I gotta get back there. I'm like, so wait a minute. So now you worried about closing out? Now you want to close in? Come on, man. Like, and that's all I'm saying. Like what Sim said. Next gen, if these dudes are not honestly playing logically, it's gonna be a wash. Especially if NBA 2K does what they're supposed to do.
Man,
it's gonna be a wash. And man, I can't wait to see them details on that. Because
they are building from the ground, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they come in from scratch and it looks and plays and feels like they did, nah. So that's what I'm saying. EA gotta come. And see, this is the other part too. I know someone said it here in the chat. I don't know, Sim, if you saw it on Twitter or not. NHL put out their trailer today for the Be a Pro mode. And it's like,
oh, it says something about you can buy things and personal. Yeah.
You could buy cars. You could go hang out with the team. Dude, they're doing the superstar mode stuff that's supposed to be that Madden did back in 06.
EA Canada, bro. I keep telling people there's something going on in EA Canada that just don't happen at Tiburon. And I'm not talking devs. I'm just saying.
It don't make no sense. And remember, you guys, go back to where this game was when it came onto next gen. It was on NHL 15 and how barren that game was outside of gameplay. That game was barren with their modes. And look where they at now. This is the kind of stuff I was expecting from Madden. So it's like, come on, man. This is absolutely crazy. You could buy cars, you could choose a hang out with your team. What did they say? Hang out with your team or spend time with fans or some junk like that. And it's like your teammate morale could go up and down in terms of how they feel about you. You could, when you talk to the media, you can either you could be cocky and take credit for what you did yourself, or you could be a team player. And once again, how your teammates feel about you will be one way. If your coach can get upset with you because based off of how you acting and everything, like,
oh wow,
they're putting that balance in there, and they give the in-game goals and stuff too. Get multiple cross checks, and you get this kind of bonus, or get this, do this, that, and the third. They put in-game goals in there for you to achieve that help you move up, in terms of the depth chart, playing time, whatever. So it's crazy to see how they're able to do it, but how come we're not seeing that stuff happen with Madden? And that's the crazy part about it. Oh, we're the best selling game in August and we do all this stuff. Yeah, but you're not doing anything to the game. And see, it becomes more and more visually clear as to why the game doesn't get that attention that it should get. You know what I'm saying? It's because of what EA is practicing. They basically say, hey, all we got to do is get them slightly better than this busted cup and we all right. That's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, and I mean, that's what we're getting. Yeah, we try to play Madden. We try to play the game. You know, like Sim got it up there on screen.
Oh, I'm gonna show it to him.
You show love screen to these cats and everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool, but it's not gonna be enough to honestly be like, yo, now these dudes are giving us what we should be getting all along.
Okay.
Like,
Jerry Judy, I see you.
They gotta give us more, man. So,
man,
but
it's this simple, guys. Let me put it. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Y'all don't need to see me and Smitty here for a second. I want you guys to. And Brett, I got you. I'm about to get you in on Zoom. I just got you waiting right now. I just want you to look at this, guys. Again, this is not a knock at all. I bought it. This is playing off of my console. Okay? So what I said I was going to do, I did. But I also said, and I said this before the game came out, don't sit there and try to act like this is your replacement. Come on, man. Now, if you're complaining about gameplay in Madden, come on. But I'm not comparing these guys to Madden. I'm just trying to simply say to everybody, we got to be realists. Look at that. Look, y'all see that? But again, I like what they're doing on the surface. I like the ability, or the not the ability, but the fact that they have physics. It's a physics-based game. I haven't seen any drawn together animation. I haven't seen any warp tackles or any, canned tackles because of the physics. Nobody's getting drawn into a suction tackle or block. But this ain't it. I can't play this game like that. I think what I might do, for the channel, perhaps to give them a little bit of push, I might do like a dynasty mode, thing where I'm just coaching it and I do broadcast cam, maybe not the whole game, but try to make it fun like that. But guys, this is not my replacement. I'm sorry. And just like I said before, Madden is better than this game overall, gameplay and all, even though I like the principle of what they're doing here. So again, as a member of this community that some of you guys have appointed as me and Smitty being some of the main voices, we got to be real. Yes, support them. I want everybody to support them. And one guy, let me say this too, Smitty, as I bring, before I bring Brett on. Can we stop criticizing people for what they do in terms of, let me give you an example. I seen a guy out there trying to clown people for buying this game and saying that's stupid to support them. I ain't throwing my $29.99 away. Dog. If I literally say I'm just doing this just to support them, they can have my $30, even if I don't play this game. Azure did the same thing. What is it to you? What is it to you? It's $30. Y'all know what the kind of stuff I've wasted $30 on? Let's be honest. $30. Now, listen, I am not saying everybody's money is right and all that, but it's $30. Or like my boy said on that old movie, I pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Dollhouse. $30 Dollhouse. Dollhouse. That's all it is. 30. That's nothing. What's the difference in that than donating to somebody? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Like, people are weird, man. That's why social media drives me crazy sometimes. Weirdos. What does it matter to you? If I donate $30 to someone willingly. So I just wanted to say that really quick, man. But as you guys can see, man, yeah, it's give these guys a few years, man. Give them a bigger budget. That's why I'm donating. Give them a bigger studio, a bigger team. And let's see. You know what I'm saying? But right now, nah, fam. This ain't it. This ain't it. But anyway, let's take this off the screen now. And we're going to bring in our good buddy, Brett. Well, actually, hold on, Brett. I know you're still there. Smitty, if you're still there, let me know what you think is best. Oops, I see us. Let me get us back here in the center of the camera. There we go. Center of the video here. Do you want to quickly knock out the other topics? Because I think we can do it relatively fast. And then we just give Brett, we'll do a hard stop at like 9:30. Give him that 30 minutes. I'll ask you, Smitty, if Smitty can't hear me right now, Brett, I'm asking you as well. Oh, you can hear me. All right. I ask you as well, Brett, man, if you want to put that in the chat. I already got you queued up, but if maybe me and Smitty can knock out these other topics and we'll do a hard stop at 9:30 and then we'll give you that last 30 minutes all about whatever you want to talk about. I think that might be better so we don't get off the path. So if that's cool, let's go ahead and do that really quick, Smitty. I'll kick it off with the pre-orders, and then we'll talk about the 2K modded controllers. Guys, let me just tell you, boy, it was rough out there for me, and many of us. Um, I'll keep it really short and sweet. I did not get a chance, haven't got a chance yet to secure a PS5. What I did get a chance to pre-order, and this is what I love Amazon about, because they don't charge you until it's ready to ship. I did book the headset. You know, I do kind of want to experience the whole 3D audio and all. They get all of us, man, when the stuff is new. You know, Smitty actually, and I'm not even gonna steal his thunder. I'll let y'all know how boy, did Smitty come up, man, on accessories. But anyway, I didn't get to reserve it, man. It's so painful, man, because I was on Best Buy site. I got so far to where it asked me to enter my PayPal and confirm my information. Kept spinning. So, long story short, man, even the next day with the Walmart thing, I was right there waiting and ready. I wasn't one of the lucky ones that it worked on the refresh. It just never worked for me. So I am what they call, what out on the PS5. Maybe I'm thinking maybe there'll be some more pre-orders beforehand, but I know we just saw some information out there that said, I read something the other day that said that some retailers might be canceling pre-orders because of the demand. So who knows? I would assume I would still be able to get one before the end of the year, but if not, I might just have to wait. Now here's the funny. Remember I was telling you guys that, man, I'm going to get the PS5. I don't need the Xbox because I got a gaming PC. I'm streaming on it right now. The PC I'm using right now is my gaming PC. And what do I need that for? So as we got closer and closer, I was like, my logic kicked in on me, guys. Let me tell y'all what I mean. Smitty and my boy Sabo, shout outs to Sabo. And I'll say him and Smitty because Smitty and Sabo has always, urged, why don't you play Madden on PC more? Why don't you play with the mods? Why you still playing on console? Well, the fact of the matter is, it's not mobile. What do I mean by that? My PC is down here in the man cave. Most of you, just like myself, we have families. Even as a content creator, a lot of times I'm sitting in the living room with my wife, my son in there. I got my, able to use my little monitor. I can move with a console. It's a lot tougher for me with my schedule to just be down here gaming for hours and hours and hours in the basement. You know what I mean? So when I started thinking like that, I was like, who am I kidding? That ain't gonna work for me to just say, oh, I'll just use the PC. Now, this was if I would have locked down a PS5. So lo and behold, guess what? I was actually able to reserve an Xbox Series S, not X. I got the S. Now let me tell you why I got the S. For one, it's $299. Now I know that some people are saying, yeah, that's still $300. Right, I'm not downplaying that, but that's affordable. Especially for a console that I wasn't going to get. So my idea is this. Reserve that from Best Buy. If I'm able to get a PS5 beforehand, I'll probably sell that. I don't know if I would keep the Xbox. Or I might. I don't know. Or I look at it like this too. At least I've secured a next gen experience early on. In case I don't get a PS5, I can at least try out the games and see how the games are working that I need to see. Because on the S, obviously most of us know the difference. It's not the X, it's not native 4K, it's 1440. Okay. That don't mean that much to me on a console that isn't my main go-to. Y'all get what I'm saying? Because once I found out that the S is really the same machine, it's just not as powerful, right? But they keep advertising it as, no, you're going to get the same exact experience. So I'm like, all right, at least I can do that. Because like I said, being somebody who does create content, I don't want to be left in the dark in that area. Also, being somebody who do what me and Smitty do, I want to be able to come here and tell you guys what the experience is like on a next gen console, particularly a game like Madden, particularly a game like NBA 2K. However, this is where I'm hurting. Listening to my good brother Smitty, I went ahead and I got the Mamba edition of 2K. Remember I said, you know what, I'm going to wait. I should have just waited. I ain't blaming Smitty, I'm just joking. I should have waited because I bought the Mamba edition, but I have no PS5 to get my free code. So it's like, dang, if I get to a situation where I might not even be able to play 2K on next gen unless I get it for the Xbox, then I'm out money again because I'm not going, you know what I mean? If once I get a PS5, it's over. But anyway, man, that's the life and the price you pay when you try to, be informative like we are. So there's my story. But I'll say this really quick and throw it to Smitty. I know we got to hurry up here. Kind of crazy how the whole thing went down, man. I think you're kind of going to deal with that regardless. Even if they tell you when the day and time is, you still got to be happy. It's just like, and me and Smitty have laughed about this when we've gone to EA. It's just like, right, when you get up that next morning to check in your flight, and you right there waiting, and you bam, you hit it, and you still end up on like Group B, and you're like, what? Like, how is that many people ahead of me? Same story. Them Walmart, man, PS5 joints went in 40-something seconds, and I was right there.
Yeah.
So that's my story. I hope I get one eventually, but I'm glad that I was at least able to secure a next-gen console. And what do you know? And like I said, the reason why I did say maybe I should get the Xbox because I'm not going to just sit around and play this PC. I can't just sit here. I got to be all over the house in games. So there you have it. Well, Smitty, man, tell us your experience and what are you expecting out of that PS5 that you were able to finally get?
4. Yo, man, this cat Ray. Hey, yo, Ray, you should make an arrangement with Sim if you're trying to get one.
What
Real
happened?
talk. You see what Ray said in there? Ray got 4 PS5s and a Series.
You know what? Let me say something real quick. I'm gonna pick with some of y'all, man.
He got.
Come on, man.
Whoa.
I will say this though. And shout outs, I'm not even gonna say who it is. He knows who he is. 2 people looked out and said, yo, my man might have another one I might get you. But one of my mans that we know strictly from social media, from Twitter and all that, but I'm not gonna say who it is for his identity, straight up told me, like, yo, if all of mine ship, I got you on the digital joint. Don't even worry about it. Appreciate you, bruh. That's all I can say. But people like, Ray, come on, y'all. What are y'all doing? Unless you know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Somebody sold how much did one sell for? Somebody sold it for like nearly 10 G's.
Hook your man up. That's all I'm gonna say. If somebody out there got extras that you can, come on, you still gonna make money. You're gonna keep one for you. You got what? 3 more. You can let me hold one. I'll pay you $50 extra if you want to make a little money. Don't do that. So anybody out there, I'm gonna say it right now. If y'all got access to a PS5, I will please hook your boy up if it's extra, if it's not just yours. Come on, man. Y'all, why y'all doing that, man? Y'all hoarding them joints. That ain't right, man. Go ahead, Smitty. Y'all terrible, man.
Oh man, nah, like Sim, I was in that same boat. I was on the Walmart website, waited till 9:00. Literally within that 30-second, I would say within 25-second window, I went ahead and refreshed the page. It came up, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it another 10 seconds. I like right within those 10 seconds, I refreshed the page again. As soon as that sucker opened up, boom. All right, bet. I got my information, all that on there. Click. The problem was I had to wait for the pages to load. So I'm like, come on.
yeah.
Like, this is still thinking. Then the next step, still thinking. And then they like, oh man, it's sold out. I'm like, oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
That's what it
And
did
I
to
was
me.
mad. I was refreshing it, and then I was in, and like I told Sim, I was in a. I had joined a little Facebook group that was about trying to get the PS5. So you had a bunch of people, you got other people looking out and everything like that, and they was like, "Hey, the site's up again. The link is back up. Yo, try
Yeah,
it again. Try it again."
they kept
So
coming back up.
I tried, and so I went through, put the order through, because I was, man, you don't understand. All the win was in there off the sale. I was mad disappointed, but I kept pressing the button, so I just kept hitting it, kept hitting it. I processed it through the order. It got to the order screen, and I just kept hitting place order over and over. And then once I did it a few times, I kept refreshing that page. So I did it multiple times. I'd say about maybe 15, 16 times I did it. And then, excuse me, eventually it went all the way through. So that's why I was like, yes, I'm like, let's go. So that got me extremely hyped. You know what I'm saying? I was able to get that. So
Yep.
secured it. The email came through, confirmation number. I took a picture of it, saved the email, all that. I'm like, nope, these dudes try to say anything. Paid y'all took the money, y'all gave me the confirmation number. I'm expecting a console between the 12th and the 18th. I'm
Exactly.
expecting that console at that
Give
point.
me
That's
my
it.
console.
You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And
when you
then
sent that text through, I was like, oh, that's what's up. I was like, yo, I'm glad Smitty got one. So I'm thinking, all right, I might. But hey,
yeah,
man, win some, lose some, brother.
man. And then the other thing too, like you were saying about Target, I was able to hit that lick. I got the notification
Listen to this, guys.
from if you guys are on Twitter, you may have saw it, but if you follow IGN deals and cheap gamer, I hit the notifications for them, right? Now, I got up early. I was doing some work. I was up early in the morning, real early in the morning, and I just so happened to get the notification on my phone. And I'll pull up Twitter on the computer since I was on it already. I pull it up, and it said Target had product, like some of the launch titles and the peripherals, at $1. So I was like, yo, this got to be a joke. So I went ahead and tried anyway. I was like, let me entertain this and see what happens. And I actually went in. I mean, I had what was it? Demon Souls, Miles Morales Deluxe Edition. I got a control. I got the remote. I got the camera. All of it was $1. You know what I'm saying? $1 with shipping in there. 12,
Man, that's
13 bucks.
crazy,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
Smitty bought everything.
yeah,
HD
like
camera. What are you gonna do with that camera? It's $1. Why
yeah,
not?
like
Oh my god, man,
got
that is crazy, man.
I got everything right, and then come to find out that it was like the next day or two later, they was like Target went ahead and they basically refunded everybody that took advantage of that. And
Oh,
they sent an email out letting us know too, like, yeah, there was an issue on our side.
oh, so they not
So
honoring
yeah,
it.
they're not honoring it.
Oh,
No, so they
dang,
sent it all
man.
back. So they was like, hey,
Oh,
but this is the crazy part. It was like, now it had a link in there, right? If you want to order it though, you could go ahead and reorder it again. I'm like, yeah, I'll reorder it for $1. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying at retail. Like, nah, I wanted what you guys had on your site. You know what I mean? But I was
oh,
like, oh well,
we
you
about to
know.
run out of time, guys. Zoom said we got 10 minutes. This is the first time that's happened to me.
Oh, for real?
10 minutes. So, um, we could keep this going probably without video. You know what? Hold on, guys. I'm going, and Brett, if you're still hearing this, I'm going to see if the blog talk can work because we don't really need video for the remaining of the show. We'll get blog talk going. We'll get Smitty on there too, so that way, yeah, that way Smitty will be able to chime in there. He can hear me, and if we can get Brett on there. So Brett, in that case, why did I just put my mic down? What am I doing? In that case, Brett, what will happen is you'll call a number. So bear with us, guys, because I don't want it to cut us off, and then we ain't talking no more. But yeah, Smitty, I thought you was gonna get away with that, man. And speaking of which, I told Smitty, yeah, that did happen. Cause here's the funny thing. I think I was either on Walmart or Target site, and it was one of the times that I got through with the PS5. But again, at the end, it ended up telling me, oh, it's sold out. But it had it for $23.72. I was like, what the? $23.72. So probably what would have happened is like what Smitty just said. They probably would have just came back and said, hey, bro, sorry, but we're not. But man, I thought Smitty had got away with that. And I was like, that's their fault.
Yeah. If they did, that's what I'm saying. And see, the thing is, it's happened in the past. Like I seen it where Target had made a mismark like that, and they just let it go.
They honor it. Yeah, they probably can't do it with that thing.
They just let it go online. Like they didn't worry about it. But I guess, with it being PS5 and all of that, it's a much bigger deal. And plus, so many people jumped on it. That's the other thing too, because they were sold out. All these games were sold out just like that. Like controls, all that stuff sold out just like that, and people are paying $1. So it's like, yeah, they getting raped over the coals, like financially in that regard. So, and I mean, it wasn't for every game. So it was like just select PS5 games. It wasn't like Call of Duty, 2K, all that. Like, no, it was just certain games. But
I think I want that Miles Morales for my little man though.
Yeah.
Because that was our little movie right there, man.
Yeah.
He loved that one, Into the Spider-Verse. So all right, guys, I got I'll ramble a little bit while Smitty tries it. So Smitty, I got the matter of fact, let me text it to you. And then Brett, I'll send you, if you still listen, I'm sure you are, I'll email you back the phone number. Once Smitty confirms he can get in there, and then we'll drop off of here. Hold on, Smitty. Let me shoot this to you real quick in the SSR chat. See, guys, when you live, you got to run an audible, man. You get to the line and you see the blitz coming. Got to call an audible on them real quick. Can't let them catch you with your pants down. I'm glad it came up like that because it's funny, man. Like family members and stuff, we've done Zoom calls and like birthdays and stuff, and they'd be like, they only have like 30, 40 minutes. And I've always said, well, every week, me and Smitty able to use Zoom, and it's like 2 hours. But now, and I don't know, maybe it's I didn't start it that early. I started it like a couple minutes before 8. So I don't know. That's weird, but whatever. Let's see. All right, here's the number. So try to call it, and once I see you in there, we'll switch over. But yeah, guys, just to rehash that little piece, and I'll just say we might not get to the 2K thing. I'll say 2 seconds on that. That's just crazy. Period. People modding the controller to get green releases. If we get to it when Brett comes on, cool. If not, we'll come back to it. But I wanted to say this about the console. I had the same experience. Okay, I see Smitty's in there. So, all right. Go ahead, Smitty. I'm going to bring you in. I unmuted you there, and we are going to shut down this Zoom call, guys. So give us a hot second.
All right.
That's in that. Y'all gonna see us disappear in a minute. I know we pretty, man. I know y'all want to see us, but y'all don't want to see our ugly mugs. We out of here. Cut that off. Boom. All right, everybody. Confirm. Hold on 1 second. Let me cut the browser volume back on. All right, Smitty, say something, and people in the chat, please confirm that y'all can hear Smitty. You should.
Hey, what's going on?
They should be able to hear you.
Can you hear me?
So give us a thumbs up on that. And Brett, I'm about to send you the phone number right away, buddy. And guys, we promise we'll get back to when we can take calls, but it seems like lately here we've had topics that have, required us to just keep talking and talking and talking. It's hard to, fit calls, and we'll try to get get them back going, and we'll try to have maybe a dedicated show where we say, all right, we ain't got nothing to talk about tonight. Let's just do calls. Because we want to give you guys adequate time, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to just be like, all right, like how I be, y'all, the Steelers people know. I'd be like, all right, 1-2 minutes and you got to go. Because I got to keep it moving. Y'all can hear him. All right, great. All right, Brett, let me get this number to you. 1 second. 1 second. And while he's calling in, well, actually, y'all can't see me anyway. I'm still looking in the camera like y'all can see me. I'll talk while I'm looking for his email again here to send him the number. I had the same experience, believe it or not, guys, with the getting the Xbox Series S. Same experience that Smitty just explained. So what he is saying is absolutely true. And I found myself being Smitty to others on Twitter like, yo, just keep refreshing. Went to Best Buy, did the same thing it did for me with the PS5, took me all the way through. I mean, completely through, nothing. So I'm like, man, here we go again. Kept refreshing. The pre-order button came back. I said, uh-oh, hold up. Third or fourth time was the charm. Took me all the way through, paid, got the confirmation. The only thing, and this ain't no big deal, but, I didn't get the Amazon benefit of not being charged until it shipped. They already billed me, but it's all good. I got it. So that is living proof that it did work. It did work. And you just had to keep at it, man. But it shouldn't be that way. But I mean, in a way, I can't blame the retailers. The only thing I could blame the retailers on is when they kind of jumped the gun for the PS5. They didn't give everybody an equal opportunity to be available. But other than that, I mean, even if we all knew what time it was going to happen, I mean, how do you avoid that? You really can't. I mean, whoever gets in, whoever doesn't. All right. Phone number for the show. All right, Brett. Here it comes. And when I see your number pop up in there, the floor is yours. It is exactly 9:31, so we almost made that time. Let me cut this maximum game off, man. It's just not it, guys. Again, we're going to support them financially, but come on, man. Again, here we are. We just had a conversation about next-gen console. You expected me to act as if Max, come and again, that ain't, I've been supporting them heavy. Y'all see me on Twitter telling people, yo, support it. Why not? And I admitted it. I probably won't even play it much, but it's $30, man, to help against their cause. Great. We want competition, or not even that. Let's just say we want another option. Help them out. But the fact of the matter is, this is not a replacement. The gameplay is not better than what you're experiencing in Madden with all of the flaws. It's just not. It's just not that quality of a game yet. And I don't think you guys should be judging it like that. I see some people out there criticizing it way too heavy, man. Like, way too hard. What are y'all expecting? It's not a AAA title. I just don't get it, man. I know Smitty has seen it on Twitter, too. I don't get the gaming community sometimes, man. We're so... It's almost like the majority of, especially football gamers, right? We have a bad case of tunnel vision where we be locked in on negatives, right? And you go way left with the negatives. Or you're a person that locks in on positives and you go way too far with positives. Or you lock in on judging every game against Madden, saying, well, it ain't Madden. Well, we know this. And, Madden is the game that we claim that we want competition for it. So why we keep comparing everything to Madden in that regard, saying they ain't even on Madden level? They're not going to be. There's no possible way for that man, David Winter, and his small team, is no possible way that game could be anything close to what we're experiencing. I don't get it, man. Now, if it ain't for you, if you don't prefer that, supporting them, fine. That's cool too, but let's not get crazy. Oh man, Brett. I was afraid of that, man. I'm gonna try something else because there's a guy sometimes that comes on with me on the on the Steelers show, and I have to send him an email invite. So let me say this, Brett, because you were probably gonna do this with your Zoom anyway. If you're still on your computer, I'm gonna send you an email link, and it will have you join Blog Talk that way. So you'll basically be using your mic instead of your telephone. So let me see if I can get you in that way. Give me a second. See, it let Smitty call in, but it's so weird, Smitty, man. Sometimes my man can call in, other times he can't. It's weird, man.
Oh wow.
And see, like yours worked perfectly. Every time you've tried it, it puts you right through. All right, Brett, hold on, man. Let's try it this way. Bear with us, guys. We appreciate y'all, man, bearing with us with the live switch up, audible, whatever you want to call it. To kill a little bit of time, man. Sick with it says no game is going to work without the license. I agree with that, man. Listen. I think what we talked about as far as Madden's success being still a household name and recognizable product, I think the same, you could use that same rule of thumb for the NFL. We are the only ones out here saying, man, we don't need the NFL. Just give us a great generic game. I mean, what's great game play? We can customize it. That's a very small group, man. On a larger scale, people ain't trying to do all that. They want to play a game where their favorite player is there. They want to play with Patrick Mahomes. They want to play with Lamar Jackson. Ain't nobody trying to create Lamar Jackson. Everybody ain't nutty like us.
Right.
Everybody's not Neff One. Everybody's not King Alvo, and there's just not enough of those people out there. Sabo, you know what I'm saying? You know the type of work Sabo and those dudes put in with the mods, like. Ain't the average person ain't doing all that.
It's a lot of work. Right, it's a lot of work, especially with that editor. The editor for the franchise they did, like they got an Excel document.
Yeah, man.
With macros and everything that progresses. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tight. It is tight, but that's only a PC gaming thing, and it's like you got to be a PC guy through and through to honestly be okay with it.
Yeah, man. Everybody ain't doing
and
that.
It's like, if you just want a game, you ain't about to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you about realism, you ain't about to do all that. You're like, man, I'm straight, man. I'll just play this game as is, man. Call it a day. That's the thing. The sad part is, Sim, is that even with the work that those guys do, they can't circumvent how the game is going to play.
Yep.
Because Madden still is going to play like Madden. You know what I'm saying? And even with them, because I've told them. I've told all these. I've told them that. I've chatted with him. I'll tell him about certain things that really are problematic to me, and he'll tweak some variables and be like, hey, try this out. Let me know what you think. Try this out. What do you think about this? Like right now, they're still waiting on the Frostbite editor for 21, so that way they could start messing with it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, yeah, it's not as, this game's not as, it's a lot of work people do, but these EA problems just really, it sucks the life force out of the game.
It is sad, man.
It's sad.
And the lengths that people will go, and what we'll do, guys, and I'm sure he can still hear us. I don't know if Brett will be able to get on or not. What we will do, Brett, this will be the secondary plan, and we will follow through with this. If for whatever reason the email invite isn't working either, we hate to keep putting it off, man, but please, brother, if you have time next week, we will start off with you on the show right from the gate. Regardless of what we need to talk about, you come on first so we won't miss it. So if Zoom wants to cut us off, at least your part would be there. But I tried sending you the direct invite here from the email, and it usually works, for other people that can't call on for the phone. But in case it doesn't, man, let's talk about the 2K thing really quick, man. It kind of makes me feel the same way what I was about to say about Madden as far as the lengths people will go to do things. This is insane what we're hearing about these controllers. I mean, the baffling thing to me, Smitty, is what we pretty much talked about when the game first released. The overwhelming I'm not even gonna say disappointment, but the overwhelming pushback from the gaming community, even from sim gamers, about that shot meter. I never understood it because one thing that you cannot deny and you cannot forget, you don't have to use it. It is not required
Right.
to shoot with the shot stick. So I'm never going to be on board with the movement, if you will. I'm never going to be on board with that when it's something that, well, it's a toggle option. You don't have to use that. And to me, once I kind of figured out how it works, it ain't too bad, man. I'm going to make some, I'm going to miss some. And honestly, as a gamer, a simulation head, I feel rewarded when I catch the ball, like, in the perimeter, find somebody, by themselves in the corner or whatever like that, and I pull that three and I hit that joint, even if I don't get the green, but I aimed it good enough and she go in, it's rewarding. Like, it feels like I did that. And it's more engaging because now I got to really pay attention to what I'm doing when I shoot. I got to be looking to see, what side is the meter on? That's the only thing I still don't know is what determines where that indicator is going to be. Sometimes it's on the left, sometimes it's on the right. I thought it was court relative, but it ain't. I don't know. I think it's just a random mechanic that they throw in there to add a little more challenge. The only other challenge I have sometimes, Smitty, is it did take me a while, and I'm still adjusting to using it for layups. It's a little harder to move the stick, especially if, let's say, you still in the mind frame of old 2K, right? I'm on the right side, and I want to pull the stick to the right to do a right-handed layup. Then you have to really pay attention because you got to swing that joint all the way back around. Or what I've also found out, and I didn't know this until I went and practiced, whenever you shoot, even if it's a layup, if you just pull the stick straight back, you ain't going to be that far away from the thing. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be so far away from it. It's only a minor adjustment that you have to make. Unless you pull down on the stick and it's like, diagonal left, diagonal right, then it's going to throw off where that indicator is like how far away you're from it. But if you're pulling straight down, you don't have to do a whole lot to correct. But at the end of the day, to go as far enough to mod the controller, come on, man. Are y'all serious? That to me is the epitome of cheese, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. And to me, man, maybe you could tell me, Smitty, how does it work? Like, how are they able to, because I didn't read up on it, I just briefly saw it on Twitter. How are they able to mod the controller where it matches up with the code, I guess, of the game? Like, how is this thing working?
I don't know. I guess I don't know. Like, I didn't look deeply into like the inner workings of it, but I mean, I guess it's like they set the control to a particular groove, so that way. So that way, now when they go to pull the jump shot, all they got to do is just tap the button. So that way it'll correspond to the functionality. They just tap the button now, and it's an instant green no matter what. No matter who's covering, no matter what's going on, they can be blocked. Don't get me wrong. Their shot can be blocked. But I'm just saying, though, it's like they let them go ahead and hit greens with consistency like that.
That's crazy, man.
So, and I mean, this is a key thing though, Sim, about it. This was not something that was going on until until they did the title updating for that controller, because they weren't doing. Because remember, none of this was happening during the demo. How come this wasn't happening during the demo?
Yeah.
It wasn't happening during the demo. It didn't happen when the game first came out. But as soon as they did that title update, as soon as they started tinkering with it, that's when all this stuff happens. See? So when people who complain about changes and things like that, and this, once again, this is not taking a shot at nobody or nothing like that, but going back to my man Bills, like I talked about back at launch, and he made his comment, and he was talking about the shot stick and all that, and he complained. He said it should have been took out and everything, right? That's why I clown guys like him and many others. I clown all these dudes. Oh, I can't shoot. You even had 2K League players that were complaining about the shot stick. But then you had people in the comment section, not comment section, excuse me, that will reply back to their tweets with pictures and video clips like, man, I ain't having no problem shooting. No, man, it's broke. I ain't able to. I can't. See, people don't want to adapt to learning curve. So when you patch stuff, like every single dev from all these companies have said it. We've told y'all this stuff multiple times. You know, before this was more of an outright public thing like that. But we told y'all, every time these games get patched, it's going to get messed up. That's it. It's not, the game is significantly better. Sometimes it is, but that's not often, especially with these games that have been around for so long. If the game is coming out at a certain state, they spent the bulk of the year building it a certain way. And now you want them to change it, and it's supposed to hold true. That doesn't make sense. That's like saying you spent 6 months. You spent 6 months building a house, and now the homeowners come see it, and they want you to make changes, and you want it and you want it to be done in 1 week. That's not realistic, but that's how it happens. And it's like, well, we use some duct tape and some Gorilla Glue to hold that part up together. How come you guys didn't build it flush like you did over here? Well, I mean, that took us months to do.
Right.
You see the point? So it's like, you can't take what took all that time to build and then all of a sudden act like they're supposed to fix it just like that. Because, but it's tough. No, that's what ends up happening. Now the system gets messed with, and it becomes compromised. That's when you start seeing silly stuff happen in the game, or sillier stuff, because you're going to see silly stuff that happens at some point or multiple points of the game. That's just the way it is. But it gets sillier. Modding controls, stuff like that, and everything.
That's so dumb.
Why? Because the system's been compromised. Madden 19, player movement, they promoted it. Player movement was nice at first. After that, look, Problem and all them cats, they couldn't cover 2 and 3 routes. You see what I'm saying? They couldn't cover 2 and 3 routes no more. And they complained about it. Multiple people complained. What did EA do? Patch. All of a sudden, now even though they didn't patch player movement per se, but them messing with other things, the player movement got completely messed up. Now people were able to take away 2-3 routes again when they couldn't do it at first. See what I'm saying? So when the game gets tampered with, this is the kind of stuff that ends up happening. It's plain and simple, clear as day. So it's not 2K and this happening right now. it's just another in a long line of what happens when people don't adapt to the game and the style of game that was made and just whine and complain. Think about it. I think I said on here before. Take games like, no, I said this, and shout out to my man Expert. Shout out to our good friend Expert. You know, I was talking to him in PSN chat about a week or two ago, whatever. And I was saying to him, what about Dark Souls? Because he was one, you know, he's one of the guys that didn't necessarily like the shooting mechanic. And my thing is, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You feel the way you feel about it. Now, if you play Neo, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, any of those games, and you are a lifelong RPG gamer, you played everything: Secret of Mana, Legend of Dragoon, Dark Souls, Guild Wars, Freedom Force, whatever, Final Fantasy, all of that, Saga Frontier, the whole nine. You played all them kind of, you know, all those kind of games, right? Okay, that's cool. You played all those games, but this game, man, I'm dying. Man, I keep dying. Man, I don't be dying because I've been playing these games for 30 years and I've been playing. So what ends up happening is, what you gonna do? These dev teams that spent, who knows what amount of time they spent making these games. You're telling me you're gonna go to them and you're gonna tell them, hey, you guys got to make this easy because I keep dying. They're like, no, this is the way it was built. That's not a problem. That's a you thing. That's got nothing to do with us. We made this game to be challenging on purpose. They put that learning curve in there on purpose. They put it in there. Hey, Dark Souls, they marketed dying in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they marketed it like, no, you're going to take L's. And that's the whole point. It's like they did that on purpose because they know that's going to happen. And see, that's the whole thing. You didn't see them say, okay, look, all right, we nerfed the bosses, okay? Because we're going to make sure that you got... Wait, doesn't that completely contradict what you guys are promoting? Like, this is a challenging series of games here. You purposely made it like that for a reason. And they're sticking to that and carrying that out. It would be awesome to see sports games be carried out the exact same way. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is on the end user. So it's their job to please. Oh, I see what Builder's Life is saying. And see the one thing about that is, though, and I'll say this though as well, Builders, is that yes, you could fault the company because the game is built one way and it has issues in it and everything. But at the same time, it does fall on the consumers as well because you guys are the ones that are changing the game. You guys, and when I say you guys, it may not be you specifically, but peers and things like that. Y'all are online complaining that adding 2K, adding EA, about stuff that's legit in the game, or when they try to implement, at least especially in the case of Madden, when they try to implement anything that could present a challenge, it's, oh man, I can't take away 3 routes like I used to. Oh man, you mean that my DB can't catch better than the wide receiver? Like, I should be able to catch as much as he should. Rex told you, learn to play the receiver instead of playing the ball all the time. No, but I should be able to hit triangle and wide. What? So then what ultimately happens is patches happen. And once again, me being a Lions, fan and everything, hey, I appreciate the buff because my secondary was getting torched. But at the same time, it's like it's not playing true. That takes away what I would have to do as a Lion, as a person who's utilizing the Lions, going up against premier receivers. Like, no, it shouldn't be that simple. It shouldn't be equal just because. You know what I'm saying? So, Brett finally got on. Oh, okay, from what he's saying.
Yeah, I didn't see him still on Blog Talk,
you don't see him?
But shoot, man, I'm gonna have to run at 10, so that's why I was telling them, man. Next week, Brett, for sure, we will. Let's start off the show with you on, and we can choose whichever way you
Yeah.
think is better. If you want to try Blog Talk, if not, we know Zoom works. So let's do that, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Don't even worry, because we love when you've been on the show in the past, man. So I'm sure that some of the newer viewers will love to hear your insight. Again, guys, Brett used to work at EA, so he has a development, definitely a development standpoint that he can to educate us on. Real quick too, Smitty, before we go, I wanted to make this quick comment because I saw it on Twitter today, and I see one or two people asked in here. I think Hollywood Sports, posted something about it a little while ago, or a little earlier. I don't know when EA is going to show next gen Madden. I wouldn't expect it this soon, only because we've seen how they've been over the last few years. They pretty much wait until the last minute, So I know people are saying, it's an L that they haven't showed. No. I think they're following their normal protocol. I would assume that we'll start hearing and seeing something. What you think, Smitty? In about 2-3 weeks out, I would assume we're getting close to it. But
Yeah, the game. Yeah.
yeah,
Look, it's October 1st today,
right.
and let me see what today's the first. What? How many more days? Yeah, like I would say, probably in about 2. I would say 2 to 3 weeks max.
Yeah.
3 weeks max. Because 3 weeks out would put us at October 22nd. If you ain't showing anything by then, and you know what I'm saying, you talking about 3 weeks later the consoles drop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gonna have to show something. At least I would assume by then. Now,
Yeah.
2K said, 2K didn't officially say, but it was said from one of the reliable 2K Twitter accounts or whatever that, promote news and things like that for it, is that they did make confirmations for next gen. Like they said they confirmed the female My Player can be created. They also said that within the next few weeks, they're going to start putting out more and more details about next gen. So that's why it's like,
There you go.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Madden's on the way.
Looking at that, yeah. So if they're doing that, then Madden can't be too far behind that, because I understand that Madden has the angle of, hey, if you bought the game on Xbox or PS5, PS4, you get the free port. I get that part too, but you also have a lot of people that have not bought Madden yet at all and were banking on this next gen. So they want to see what are they honestly in store for. As far as next gen, what are you actually going to be bringing to the table? So we got to wait and see what ends up happening with that. But yeah, but we'll have to wait and see about that. It can't be too much longer before they give out some information, because we got to know what's happening with these games. Like, see, it makes more sense. I'll just say this real quick. It makes a lot more sense when you see games that are going to be like one-hitter quitters, or maybe will just be a one installment every so many years, like the Harry Potter game coming out and that Batman Gotham City game coming out and some of these other brand new IPs. It's one thing for those games to really showcase and have those full-fledged trailers now. Well, when PlayStation and Xbox had their showcases, it makes sense. But Madden and 2K and FIFA and all that, PES and everything, those are games that we know are going to come out every year. You know what I'm saying? They're coming out. They're going to come out every year. So for them to withhold on this initial offering is understandable. EA, especially if I'm just saying, if EA does not deliver because y'all put out, we talked about it before, and Tim made the point on Twitter, and you know what I'm saying, haptic, what was it? All the stuff they said.
Everything in that
You can go
article
to the link.
better be there.
There. Yeah, it has to hit because you can't go to another generation and have a port over and then say, oh, we got all this stuff that's coming on next gen. And it's like, but it has to be in Madden 21. That's the main point. It can't be, well, we're working on it. No, it has to be now. That's the main thing. It has to be now, and it has to be good. Because the 2K, man, I swear to goodness, if 2K comes with it, and EA is not doing it, I'm like, man, 2K, please, whatever game y'all make, please, you know what I'm saying? Please, just make it suitable, and you win. You know what I'm saying? Just make it suitable enough. I know y'all can't go all out, but just make it suitable, and you get the dub. So that's the point, man. That's what I'm like. I don't want to see or hear any excuses regarding Madden like that, man. I'm not hearing any of that stuff. Y'all make all the money. Y'all the main ones there and everything. And see, the thing is, if you guys don't step on the gas and really do something, 2K could mess around, make a game that's suitable enough, and they could potentially get into that position. So don't think that they could. Just gotta wait and see. So I'll leave it at that, man. With that,
Yeah,
I'll leave it there.
that's pretty much it, man. I will, in about 45 seconds, I will tell you guys what my expectation is, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this as we get closer. Everything that's in that article that I just posted in the chat better be in Madden 21. Why? Again, I said it on this show before. This is a little different how they're promoting it than how they promoted Ignite. They are specifically calling these titles next level FIFA, next level Madden. They're not saying what their engine can do. Remember, with Ignite, they were touting the engine, and of course, we all was expecting to see that in Madden 25. But they could kind of slither and, they could kind of walk it back and say, no, this is what the Ignite will be able to do. This, you're specifically calling these games next level 21, Madden and FIFA. So that's my expectation. Everything it says here in this article, and gameplay-wise, do I expect a complete change? Maybe not, but I want to see foundation. What I mean, really quick, and then we can get out of here. Foundation as in, I want to see physics on everybody. This next level new console product should be more physics happening. I want to see player interaction making more sense. Again, physics being respected, weight and momentum being respected, all of that stuff that, they tried to tinker with on this generation, for whatever reason they didn't get there. I want to see 1-to-1 interaction. Much cleaner player movement. Realistic player movement. Because that's one of the things that they're talking about. The whole stats driven off of player what? What does that mean? So that's what we're saying. Right. If those things, if they just deliver that in this first product and it ain't a, completely different game, cool. Because at least we see your platform. We see all of this stuff that is going to make it a different game, as well as the way the players are behaving on the field with AI and interaction is much different. Great. Now we got a foundation. Go to work on next gen. But if it resembles, as far as interaction and stuff, resembles what we got now, we're in trouble. And the last thing I will say, Smitty, another thing that I would expect that some people might say, this ain't no big deal, but it is to me because we've yet to see it. Them daggone sidelines better be for real. this year. At least you can presentation. Man, come on. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We have never seen living worlds. The crowd is the most thing we've seen as far as living worlds on this generation, where they got the signs and stuff. But them sidelines, to me, all of them cute little cutscenes they give us this year, that need to be the sideline. It shouldn't have to be a cutscene. It should be an actual like footage. Remember when we used to? Oh man, we got a lot to talk about when we get back on here. Remember when we used to talk to Brian Murray, the guy that worked for NFL Films and all that, and what he was saying that his idea, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't think this is something we can't say, guys. He wanted to shoot Madden the way he shot NFL films and stuff in real games, meaning where you point the cameras and stuff is actual footage. So it would be like APF, a game that was produced in 2007, where the sideline is the actual players. Everything that's happening over there is what's really happening. It's not a cutscene. So all of them cutscenes we see now, that to me should be what the sideline looks like at all times. Don't go telling me you don't have the capability and the storage and the power. Yes, you do. At least give the presentation people that. So those are my quick expectations. Everything in that article, gameplay refined, and we're seeing more different coding working now in the environments. If that ain't happening, man, I swear, if we still seeing 2-man animations and warps, and man. Because again, and this is a question for Brett when he comes on next week, I don't know if that's stuff that you can change once you already poured over. I think it's more, and again, I'm not an engineer, but I think it would be more difficult to fix things like that from a code standpoint once you're ported over, rather than building a system or building these codes and, the type of tech from scratch to input into this new system. But I don't know. That's just my speculation. We'll see. We'll see, man. But that's all I got for the night, man. I ain't got nothing else. Anything else, Smitty?
No, that's it, man. That's it.
Well, yeah, guys, we appreciate everybody coming back, man. I'm glad we was able to make the show happen this week. Definitely we should be back next week. I don't foresee any unforeseen activities, no birthdays or nothing like that. So we should be back next week. Just to give you an early preview, what we definitely want to do is we want to start off with Brett Lee. Again, former dev at EA. He is familiar with how they operate from a business standpoint. He's familiar with systems. He could probably answer some of these questions we asked tonight about, once you port over, is it more difficult to change things rather than having something that you've been working on and, that system is going to be in your new product, et cetera, et cetera. We'll talk about that. And then whatever else comes up throughout the week, that'll be the secondhand topics. So there you go. But all right, guys, we're going to get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. Again, be safe. Do your best to do your job. As you can see, football game is already being affected this week because of this virus. So protect yourselves, man. Just be safe. Wear your masks. Wash your hands and all that good stuff. Outside of that, have a great weekend. Be safe. Be blessed. Good night. And thanks for tuning in to the Sim Standard Podcast. Peace.
Peace.